Is futures trading good for scalping? That was the question that I received here on this video, where I made an argument about 3 big reasons why you should at least consider doing futures trading. So then I got the question, is futures good for scalping? And that's what I want to address in this video. Now, a couple things up front. I don't know what your definition of scalping is. Maybe you'll see what I show you and say, no, that wasn't scalping, or that was too slow. I mean, I can't imagine you're going to think it was too slow, but who knows? I've seen crazier things. But my goal here is to show you something that in my mind were really, really quick trades, so that you can see kind of one of the extreme edges of scalping. In fact, I would argue what I'm doing and what I'm going to show you is micro scalping. So if micro scalping is possible, then in my opinion, at least, the logic would flow that therefore scalping is possible, because scalping relative to micro scalping would be a little bit slower. So that's why I'm going to show you some micro scalps, and then you can see the one edge of what is possible. And then hopefully give you an idea if futures is something that would be good for you, especially if you do consider yourself a scalper. So let's get into it. So what I'm going to show you is a couple of trades that were captured via my playlist where I record myself trading live. So I'll show you how you can get to that if you want to see more examples later on down the line. But I figured a couple here, you can see that I'm not just talking in theory. These were actual trades that I made that I was able to capture on video. So what I want you to pay attention to, though, is down here, if you're not familiar with your screen, and look at these numbers right here, because these are the numbers that are going to be changing and fluctuating as soon as the trade happens. But you got to be quick. You got to pay attention, because I'm telling you, these are micro scalps. And in my opinion of fast, they happen pretty fast. Maybe you have a different definition than I do. I'm open to that. But for my definition of fast, these are fast trades. So definitely that is the area that you're going to be wanting to watch very, very closely here as I get into it. So let's get this video rolling, and you're going to see the first trade. So keep those eyes, and this is what I would consider a micro scalp. So I'm in, and then just like that, you might have to scroll back and watch again, but you'll see very, very quickly, $300 just showed up there as a realized gain. So that was $300 in, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but I would consider that a micro scalp. So is futures trading good for scalping? I would submit to yes. Yes, it is. But like I said, at the end of the day, that'll have to be your judgment. So this is the same morning. This is the same video. So it's not like I had to go and like do a deep dive to find another example of a scalp trade. No, this is literally the same video, the same exact morning. You can see down here, you still have that $300 from the first trade that I made. So once again, the number that I'm going to want you to pay attention to just see how fast the trade occurs is right here in the open P&L box. And then when the trade is realized, it will then influence that number right there. So keep an eye on those numbers here, and let's get this trade going. So I'm in and out just like that. So notice how it was not very long, and then all of a sudden the number there in that yellow box is now 600, because the first one was a $300 micro scalp, and then that second trade was a $300 micro scalp. Now, I do want to acknowledge and realize that, yes, from a statistical standpoint, I showed you a sample size of 2. So not exactly a large sample size, which is a fair critique, but I will put a link down below to this playlist that I talked about earlier about my live trades. And you can come here and see there are a variety of trades. They are not all scalps, but there is a good variety of them. So you can come and watch. I mean, I've been, there's a lot of trades here with me in futures. So like I said, I'll put the link down below. And if you want to come and get more data points to see if scalping, if the way futures move, would be appropriate for your strategy, then there's plenty of additional videos here that are in that same accord, where it's me recording myself. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'll let you make that judgment on if you think futures trading is good for scalping. Now, in the circumstance, you're like, wait a second, Clay, no, I don't need to watch anymore. I am already convinced, but I don't really know anything about futures. Fantastic. I offer a totally free 4-part series that'll walk you through what futures are, how the market works, and all of that. So I'll put a link down below here, and you can get started with class 1. But again, there's 4 classes. They're totally free. And when you're done, you will have a good, firm understanding of the futures market. And then before I go, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering that'll walk you through the tools I'm using to build consistency and manage risk, and ultimately make sure you have the right framework. A lot of people show up in the markets. I've been doing this since 2013 as far as the YouTube channel and the website itself. So I've seen and observed many traders, and a lot of people show up with the best intentions. But when you're new and you don't know what you don't know, or you're struggling and you're not quite sure why, you may be doing things that you think make sense, but they actually don't. So those are the types of things I'll be addressing within this class. So to ensure that you're operating from a proper framework to give yourself the best chance at success. So if that sounds like it could be any value, then I'll put a link down below, or you can just go to claytrader.com/live to learn when the next live class is. So definitely get signed up for that. If there are any other questions or what have you, leave those down in the comment section. I do read and reply to all comments. If you don't believe me, put them to the test and I will reply to it. But like I said, any questions, leave those down below. And then if you appreciate the video, if you enjoyed, maybe you learned something, hit that like button. And then if you're looking for a super free and simple way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.